give you my heart.
Hi guys, before we get into this video, I just want to say I know people with disabilities have experienced worse or different experiences in public than I probably have, but sharing my experience can help someone out or change someone's opinion what they should do to someone who they think is disabled. Even if you're not disabled, what you shouldn't do to people in public. So this is my story on what happened and my experience, and the reason why I'm making this video is I actually saw this comment here. I was going to do a Q&A and this was the only question, so I just thought let's make this into a video. Before I actually get into the story time, I want to just tell you guys the thing that I don't like really wearing or doing, mostly wearing in public, and that is my hand wrap. Even though it is like skin colour, you can barely see it. Like, I used to have one like this bright colour, so it's more invisible than my purple hand trap or splint I had, but I still feel very wary, and if I do wear my hand trap or splint out in public, I do feel like I need to wear a coat just for my comfort, because I feel like this bit here makes it very noticeable that I'm wearing something, and when it's covered it doesn't look like I'm wearing something that much on my hand. And personally, to me, I don't want to draw attention to something that I don't want strangers to know about. That might be a weird way of wording it, but I just don't want to draw attention to myself because of wearing my hand trap or because I've got cerebral palsy. I don't want people to look at me for that. Luckily, I've never had any bad experience with wearing my hand trap when I do in public. Luckily I haven't, but the experience I had was unexpected. Now I will say everyone has their opinions. Everyone thinks of, oh, that person, I don't like what they're wearing, or they're running weird, they're this. Everyone has their thoughts, but saying is, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. And that's also with action. If your action is not a good action, don't do it. My experience, I was in town by myself. I went to the shops, went to have a little shopping spree on my own, and I fancied a Subway. Who doesn't fancy a Subway? They're amazing. And I think at this time I got a foot long. I normally get the feet one, I don't know what it's called, but like the half one. But this time I was quite hungry, so I got the foot long. And the bit where I sat at, it was like rocks on an edge connected, like on a wall. That makes sense. So it like went like that. It curved around, and then behind was a church. So it looked like that, and I was just sitting on the rocks, or like the rocky bit, and there was, I can't remember if it was a couple or a mum and a daughter or whatever, I can't remember, but I'm sure it was definitely elderly people. I remember that. It was a while back, so I can't remember them physically, but the experience of it has stayed with me, and that's why I want to share this. But they were walking up to where town was. So where I was pretty much nearly out of town. So they were walking up to town, and they saw me. And what they should have done was just walk ahead. Just carry on with your day. What they did was not nice in the moment, still not nice. The lady looked at her partner or daughter, like I can't remember. She looked at the person she was with. It could have easily been a friend. I don't know. But she looked at the person she was with and then she just pointed. I'm pretty sure they said something, but I can't remember. And honestly, by that point, when they pointed and I knew they said something about me because it was obvious they pointed at me. After that, I just put myself away in the bin because a little thing like that, guys, the simplest thing can just change someone's mood. I was happy that day and I came back like, why? Like, why? Some people do get it worse than that, worse than pointing at someone and being like, oh, look at the way she's eating. And can I just point out, guys, that I'm not going to do an eating video of eating a Subway, but the way I hold a Subway, it can be a bit messy because I can't grab it properly with my left hand on top of my right because I'm also trying to get the stuff inside it. Most people watching this has ate a Subway before. The way you eat it, it is messy already. So with a weaker hand, you can imagine. I wouldn't say it was that bad though, but I think I eat it probably more messier than other people, but there's still no need. There's no need for people to point at people because they're doing something different. There's no need to say something behind their back. You don't say that type of stuff or point to people in that way because you might have thought, oh, look at that person, she's eating that funny. You thought, oh, that wouldn't harm her, that will be fine. No, it does. Little things like that affect everybody different, but on my personal experience, little things like that what relate to my disability, I get insecure about, if you want to word it that way. That's why I'm always like, no, I'm determined, no, I can do this, no, I can. Because I don't like my disability getting in the way of what I want to do. Whether that's eating a sandwich or getting a job. I don't want that. And people being like, oh, pointing and being like, oh, look at her. That can affect someone's day. I have not ate a Subway in public since that day. I have, but I was still very wary of what people would think. I was wary of the way I was eating it and everything like that. Just because someone pointed at me and said something that day. It does affect people. And I know this is probably a downer video that I'm putting out, but I just want to share my story of my experience being in public. When I saw that comment of how do you feel in public with a disability, or like however it was worded, I kind of laughed because I was like, well, I don't feel anything, like it doesn't feel different. But then I thought, yeah, it does, because obviously I don't feel like it 24/7 every time I go into town, but since that experience I have been more like wary of what I eat in public, and I shouldn't be. But when I saw that comment, I was like, it made me proper think, and that's why I wanted to make a direct video specifically about this question, because it can be a hard topic for some people. It can be a hard situation. Every different situation can be worse or less. Everyone's experience is different, but the more we share about different experiences in the public eye, hopefully the more that it will change and people won't be so disrespectful. The only way I can word it. But if you did like this video and liked my story time, if you can call it that, give her a thumbs up, and I hope you have a nice day. Let me know what videos you want in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye!